This is Santa Surfing. Welcome to Beach Broadcast. Today is Tuesday, July 29th, 2025. Thanks so much for joining us on santasurfing.locals.com and on x.com. I'm going to go ahead and dive right in. Guys, my schedule's going to start getting all weird, so I may only be posting on YouTube. Well, I'll definitely post on YouTube every time I have a podcast, but on Rumble, I'll do the best I can to get it posted on there. But again, you can find me on YouTube by going to the links page right over here and on Beach Broadcast News. And you can also find my channel right there. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, so there was a horrible shooting that happened at 345 Park Avenue in New York City. There was a shooting. I'm going to go through some of those dives because it really goes down a lot of rabbit holes for us to, I believe, yeah. Anyway, and then Senator Johnson already referred Obama and the swamp to Guantanamo Bay, which is really, really big. I have a Nasara Jassara playlist, so anything that's Nasara Jassara listed or related will go in this playlist, and you can just click here. It goes to the YouTube channel where the playlist exists. All right, so let me just go ahead and dive in. 345 Park Avenue, there was a shooting that happened there. It's really weird because the authorities came out and they had a step-by-step plan of the shooter and exactly what he was doing and when he did it and where he drove and how they were able to get all of that in less than 24 hours. Where he drove, how many steps he took, what elevator doors open, who he didn't shoot, who he did shoot. And again, I'm just, okay. For those of you that have listened to me commonly, and you kind of know where I'm going with this, right? But it is now a crime scene. On my live on Locals, and the next one I have it will be on Thursday, I'm going to kind of dissect this a little bit on a live because I just kind of want to go there. It's now a crime scene. Blackstone KPMG, which is one of the big four auditing firms, NFL, headquarters, they're all in that building. But what happens with a crime scene? The files and all their dirty, dark secrets are suddenly discovered. And it's kind of interesting because I found KPMG in there as well. And I was thinking, can you imagine what they have? So I went ahead and did some digging on this. A lot of this was found through Brave AI. Brave AI seems to be unbiased, seems to have just kind of the hardcore facts. And I like that. So Blackstone peeps are Clinton found. There are not the CEO. The CEO is not a Clinton donor at all, but the people, other executives are. The 33rd floor at 345 Park Avenue is home to multiple corporate offices, including KPMG and JP Morgan Chase. KPMG, some of the very notable companies at KPMG audits are Wells Fargo, Pfizer, Pepsi, Citigroup, Accenture, ... Okay, now you kind of know where I'm going with this, right? I put this on Thread Readers so you can share the link with your friends if you like or your family. Okay, so here's an article, and it was an article about the Clinton. I wanted to find the connections between Blackstone and any of the swamp, Blackstone and 345, Blackstone and KPMG. But this is what I found interesting. So Steven Schwartzman, the firm is a major Clinton Foundation donor, but he personally donates heavily to the GOP candidates and causes. Now I'm going to stop right here. I didn't want to put that out on social media verse, because the liberals will take that and spin it. You know where I'm going with that? Okay. I'm not going to, without saying too much, we already know from Q3904 that Black Rock they're in with the Trump Treasury, right? And did they have to make Black Rock look like a villain? Steve Schwartzman, he actually was working with President Trump in his first term. Did he have secrets to share with Trump? But this is what Blackstone donated to the Clinton Foundation. Again, of all people, the CEO of this organization would have a lot of secrets. It's kind of doing a paradigm shift in our heads right now. They donated between $250,000 and $500,000 to the Clinton Foundation. 8 Blackstone executives gave between $375,000 and $800,000 to the foundation. And Blackstone's charitable arm has pledged millions of dollars in commitments to 3 Clinton global aid projects, ranging from U.S. from the U.S. to the Middle East. Blackstone officials did not make Schwartzman available for comment on this article. Again, you can go ahead and click on this article. It's kind of an older article, but you can go ahead and click on that. Now, KPMG, again, they're an auditing firm, right? And we know that they, well, from what I've read, again, you decide, they kind of don't expose a lot of stuff. I'll just leave it at that. So some notable audits are Wells Fargo, HSBC. These are bank audits I'm talking about because I want to kind of connect some dots here. Credit Suisse, Deutsche Bank, VBS Mutual Bank, Gupta Family Companies. And those are, again, AI generated answers, so you got to verify it yourself. But imagine all the dirty secrets that KPMG audits, okay? Now, the tenants at 345 are NFL, Blackstone Group, KPMG, Deutsche Bank, Rudin Management, Bristol Myers, Piper, Bank of America, JP Morgan, again, AI generated results. Now, the list of banks donating to Clinton are, you see where I'm going with this, guys? I'm taking... We've been going down these rabbit holes, and it seems that President Trump, he will put something out there on the real Donald Trump Truth account, or on, if he's posting on X, he will put them out there. It's a big old huge umbrella, and we have to go ahead and start digging what's underneath all of that, right? Now let's look at the list of banks donating to Clinton. Okay, stay with me, guys. Barclays, Citigroup, Citi Foundation, Goldman Sachs, Deutsche Bank. These are big banks, guys, donating to Clinton. Again, why are they donating to Clinton? HSBC, USB. Okay, so those are some of the big banks. President Trump is exposing criminal swamp people every single day. We've been warned that the swamp runs deep. So these are huge banks. I mean, come on. You got Deutsche, you got Goldman, you got Barclays, Citigroup. These are very big banks donating to the Clinton Foundation. Now let's look at the banks involved in money laundering. The following banks have been involved in money laundering scandals according to available information. JP Morgan Chase, and I'll read some of it. The bank involved for money the bank moved money for individuals and companies linked to looting of public funds in Malaysia, Venezuela, and Ukraine. It also processed over $1 billion for the fugitive financier behind the MDB scandal and $50 million in payments for Paul Manafort. Okay, the bank has an HSBC. The bank has been involved in laundering for Latin America drug cartels and continue to move money for questionable characters, including suspected Russian money launderers. Standard Chartered Bank, kind of a bank we haven't heard about, right? Well, you're going to start hearing more of it. The bank broke sanctions against Iran and was penalized $670 million in 2012 for its violations. It was also fined $1.1 billion for deficiency in its AML record or AML controls. Deutsche Bank. The bank was involved in a vast money laundering scheme known as the Global Laundromat, involving secret Russian accounts. It also continued to move suspect payments despite promises to improve its money laundering controls. Bank of New York Mellon, the bank continued to move suspect payments despite promises to move its money laundering controls. Commerce Bank, ING Bank, Credit Agricole and Societe Generale, Lloyd's Bank. The bank paid $350 million in 2009 for falsifying records of Iranian and Sudanese wire transfers. Guys, that's considered fraud. You'd think that the CEOs or the executives of these banks would go to jail, right? Okay. Never mind. That's just my opinion. Wachovia, the bank allowed drug cartels in Mexico to launder close to $390 billion through its branches between 2004 and 2007. And then Danske Bank, the bank's Estonian branch, was involved in a major money laundering scandal with suspicious transactions totaling approximately $228 billion between 2007 and 2015. Now, prior government agencies, they turned a blind eye to all these money laundering crimes. We are now learning through Doge and the administration just how dirty many of the government agencies are and the swamp people that aligned with it, okay? Point number 6, narrowing the list. Let's narrow down that list. See that list I just shared with you? Number 2 on the list, okay, so if you go here and you go to 2, you go back up here, okay, well, you know what I'm talking about, okay. Item number 2, if you go there, it's Deutsche Bank. They're the winner of the narrowing the list, okay? KPMG audit, they audit Deutsche Bank. Number in terms of being a tenant at 345, yes, Deutsche Bank. The Clinton ties listed as a strategic partner of the Clinton Global Initiative while under investigation for potential Iran sanctions violations. Item number 5, money laundering, Deutsche Bank. The bank was involved in vast money laundering scheme known as Global Laundromat. I just read that. So KPMG audited Deutsche Bank and was concerned about their money laundering schemes. They were concerned. Now, again, what did they do? Nothing, right? They just like slapped their hand. Then the new one is Standard Chartered Bank. Somebody's like, oh, who's that bank? Okay, well, they're exposed by President Trump. President Trump put out this post, and it is a pretty big post on money laundering, but it is Standard Chartered Bank. The bank broke sanctions against Iran and was penalized $670 million, and also was fined $1.1 billion. I read that earlier. Trump posted this on Sunday about Standard Chartered Bank's $9.6 billion. Check this out. He posted this on Sunday. And they found at least $9.6 billion of illegal payments by the bank to Iranian and Hezbollah entities. Hezbollah, a terrorist organization. All right, the case implicates, and this is from this article, so President Trump, he posted this, he posted a Gateway Pundit article. The case in the article, it says the case implicates Letitia James and the Federal Reserve for ignoring billions of these illicit payments and ignoring Treasury sanctions designations. So when a nation is sanctioned, they can't get money. They're not supposed to use U.S. dollars or certain things, whatever they're sanctioned for. And some of this particular bank, they just said, we just aren't even paying attention to the sanctions. They violated a sanction. All right, maximum pressure, and then in the article it says maximum pressure is not being enforced because of the failures of the Fed and the New York Attorney General. So this is my own opinion. The head of the Fed and the Attorney General of New York, which is Letitia James, are involved, and they won't go after themselves. Do you see where that's going? How the swamp runs so dirty and so deep? And I'm just going to remind you, you might be saying, oh man, Santa, how is this all even possible? Remember back in 2020, and I probably need to revisit this topic on President Trump's Defense Production Act. Oh my gosh, it gave him so much power. And I want to thank Chook in Australia for helping me find that and helping me open my eyes on that back in 2020. It gave President Trump significant powers to control corporations. Okay, so, all right, now number 8, CNN profiling, fake news. Fake news media, they continue to publish and report just that, fake news. CNN reported that the shooter for 345 Park Avenue was a white man, but clearly he isn't. Fake news, it truly is the enemy of the people, and they have done so much to stir up division among races. This clip says it all. It's the clip where this person right here is talking to Aaron Burnett, and saying, and the man is suspected to be a white male, and his photo is being circulated everywhere. I'm thinking, well, if it's circulated everywhere, you obviously have it right in front of you. Can you obviously see that this is not a white male? Again, if it was a white male, it would be plastered, but because, again, they go through this for a reason, okay? And you can fill in the blanks on this. Clinton media donors. So some of I'm kind of a little squirrely on all of this, but kind of connecting some dots along the way. NBC, the media donors to Clinton. So we know fake news. We know fake news. Now their audience is saying, man, they are really fake news. And those MAGA people were right? Or Trump was right. They are fake news. Think about being a viewer watching this, and you see clips of this on TV and saying, how is it that they not know he's not a white man? Right? That's what the viewers are going to be saying. again, some of the pink, the strong TDSers, they're going to say, oh, yeah, he was a white man. He just painted his skin. They're going to say whatever. I don't know. I just can't go there anymore. Clinton media donors. So here's a list of the media. So the media is dirty. The fake news media is dirty, right? Here's a list of the media that donated to the Clinton Foundation. Some of this is going to surprise you guys. NBC, again, I'm just finding this through AI generated. You decide, you do your own digging. I'm just sharing what I'm looking for and finding. NBC, News Corp, and they donated to the Clinton Foundation, former parent company of Fox News. Time Warner contributed to the Clinton Foundation, owner of CNN's parent company, Turner Broadcasting. Okay, so Time Warner owns Turner, Turner owns CNN. Okay, media, Turner Broadcasting, they donated to Clinton Foundation. Comcast, they donated to Clinton Foundation. Viacom, the same thing. Google donated between $500,000 and $1 million to the Clinton Foundation. Knight Foundation, a nonprofit foundation supporting journalism that donated to Clinton. Hollywood, oh, well, that doesn't surprise me. Foreign Press Association, Intermountain West Communications, local TV affiliate, and then Newsmax Media, conservative media site that donated between $100,000 to $5 million. They don't know which exactly the amount, to the Clinton Foundation. New York Times, the largest shareholder of the Times, donated between $1 and $5 million to the Clinton Foundation. Okay, again, it's just really, and if you got the media that's donating, and you've got Clinton pulling their strings, or whoever's pulling the media strings, and the FBI's colluding and all that, it's just one ugly, dirty swamp. President Trump, on number 10, President Trump posted about pulling fake news licenses. He says networks aren't allowed to be political pawns for the Democrat Party. It has become so outrageous that, in my opinion, their licenses could and should be revoked. I hope that happens. Boy, well, I'll tell you, that's going to really shift things, right? We are getting closer to the finish line, guys, way closer, because with this, we also know that the swamp plays really dirty, and they play very nasty, right? So the remaining deep state, they know they're losing, and they're losing terribly. President Trump going to other nations to work out quote unquote deals. Are they giving him in return all of their secrets of all the dirty swamp in those countries, or that are all over worldwide swamp people? Are they giving that up, right? And President Trump comes back with an arsenal of evidence. But they know they're losing, so they may do very dark and nasty things in the coming days, and while President Trump is ready to roll out prosperity for us, we the people. The swamp needs the illegal Federal Reserve operation and the dirty IRS and unconstitutionally operated banks, meaning the central banks that charge interest. That's not supposed to happen, to keep us in debt and enslaved in their system. They need those monies. They need them. They need to keep passing laws to favor the banks. They need to bring, on occasion, CEOs of the bank to come in for congressional hearings, and they just get a little slap on the hand, right? And then just to make it look like they're getting a congressional hearing. But without the swamp's money supply or trafficking operations, they have and U.S. aid, they have no resources. Zippo, nada, zero. So even a Delta for today, July 29th, it tells us so, to buckle up. Now, what happened? Well, what's being reported today, Ron Johnson, Senator Ron Johnson, he was on Eric Balling's show, and this is what he said.
I don't know. I'd say Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama. I would say McCabe. I'd say Strzok, Page. I'd say Brennan, Comey, Clapper. Send them all. Lock them all up. Send them to Guantanamo Bay. I got to jump.
That's been referred, and let's hope they prosecute.
I got to jump. I appreciate your time, my friend, Senator Ron Johnson.
So we know that they say things, and Congress we really need Congress to step it up here. But Ron Johnson, okay, he went there He actually said, this is what he said. He actually said, Eric Bolling was saying, Hillary, Obama, McCabe, Strzok, Page, Brennan, Comey, Clapper, and send them all. Lock them up. Send them to Guantanamo Bay. And then Johnson sneaks in and says, it's been referred and let's hope they prosecute. And then that article comes out as well. We know it's going to be something that the conservative media is going to put out there, but not the criminal, the ones that support criminal, the media that supports criminals, yeah? So just get yourselves ready. We know when they are literally tick-tock, 3 days away from the wonderful tariff deals, prosperity deals start to kick in. I'm seeing a lot of fake news about buying. I mean, I am just I listen to certain people and I'm like, okay, that sounds pretty good. And then all of a sudden they said, buying XRP was the biggest mistake I ever made. And I'm thinking, what in the freak is going on? So are they trying to get people to shift? All right. Or they're saying negative things and just flat out lies. And even videos are coming out and it's like, that didn't happen. What are you doing? And it's not getting community noted, which is really driving me nuts. So X is going through something really freaky weird. And so a dear friend, I want to thank CP for sharing this with me. And then there's others that have said, Santa, you're so shadow banned. I'm so used to that I don't know. See, this is a sad thing. I'm so used to the abuse. Isn't that sad? I shouldn't be used to it, but I am used to the abuse. I've been shadow banned after when I came back in early 2023. It gave me one day of glory, and then all of a sudden, boom, they put the lock and screws on me. And it's like, come on. I'm just trying to share stuff out there. There's no engagement farming, anything like that. But what I might do is start sending out smoke signals. So if you are on X, I'm going to have a hashtag called Santa Smoke Signal. And it's just going to be smoke signals. When I have that out there, that means you might want to take a look at this news. It might be a little bit big for you guys. So please take a look at that. That's the only way I can get this to get out there. We may have our 10 days. We may have 10 days period, darkness period. I don't know who's going to have those darkness days or if it's going to be us or them or the internet or what. But we know big things, when they start to come in and they're good and glorious for us. We saw how the media and how the left was pushing back when the OBB bill had to get passed. And they were doing everything, lying about it too. And it's like, gosh, Carolyn Levitt and President Trump and everybody on the Trump team, they were making corrections. And it was like, that's not true. That's not true. So they finally got it passed. Now the second phase is coming out a month later. Here we are going into the greatest prosperity plan that President Trump has. I've already gone through a podcast on that. And now they want to go ahead and they don't want you to be successful. We are going to beat that matrix up with a bat, and we're going to say, get out of my way. We now will inherit the earth. And that's really the big message here, is that we are on the path to something very, very big, something very, very great. And so while President Trump was in Scotland and working out these great deals, he was posting. And he posted this. There is Obama. He's being chased by a bunch of cops. And there's Trump. And that's supposed to be J.D. Vance chasing him. Okay, come on. This is the president. I think about this. Okay, if he is the leader of the world, which most people will say, some people will say Jesus is my king and president is the leader of the world. But let's just say because again, just don't take it wrong, but if he is the king of the world, most of us identify the king as very proper, very, very, no cussing, very, very, and then stabs the people of their country in the back, right? But no, President Trump's the other way around. He's like, man, I'm going to go out there. He's just a very different type of king. Okay. And then he posted this. We may not get Q drops anymore, which, by the way, Quag kind of changed their format. You can't do searches anymore for Trump, Pappy Trumpo's posts anymore. There's some changes going on, so we'll see what happens. But there's many things in the works. And even President Trump posted this through Il Donato. Again, we get a lot of comms from Il Donato, from President Trump, from the Trump team. The king is back, and he's got Keir Starmer. He is on his knees, like he's begging Trump, please, and kissing his hand. And then the Starmer is being escorted out again. And he wrote, "The king is back." Again, you decide whether he's the leader of the world, whether you call him the king of the world. The point is that we now know how President Trump has a tremendous amount of worldwide power. So if you are living in a different country and saying, oh, we need Trump here, we need Trump here, don't you think he's already there? It's just that he's got to do things behind the scenes on the right way and the right time. So let's just keep our hopes high and know that God has got this. He's got a great plan, and he used President Trump, and he used all of you to get us to the finish line. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. God bless you so abundantly, and I will have a show very soon. Aloha.